Hello world, Wendy from Cali here, back with another mixed Manny chat. It is the day after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my most favorite holiday because it embodies my 3 favorite F words: family, food, and fun. And it's over, but it's not over yet because Thanksgiving weekend is always a nice 4-day weekend. 2 paid holiday days from work, which is amazing. Even though I do know that I'll likely have to do some work over the weekend because we have a project going out on Monday. But that's besides the point. Let's just get to the Manny that I'm doing today. We are going to do another Manny by number to try to get this done here by the end of December. I'm going to be doing number 9, Spotty Business, or a random pattern. And it's a double duty mixed Manny chat because I'm going to be using the trick or treat sets that Stacy Adams had sent me. So one of these 2 sets is one that most people didn't like, which I am shocked because this one, Cool Beans, is literally a saying that I used so much in the 90s, and I actually loved this set. I love the patterns, the funkiness of it. Yes, it is a shimmer, which is hard to get down really smoothly on the nails. But overall, I can't believe that this is the set that most people didn't like. And I've used this one before too. On the flip side, Tips, I've used that before as well. And that one was supposed to be the treat. Stacy also had given me some zipper nail decals, which I've been waiting for the right moment to use, and today's the day I'm going to be using them. I've already prepped my nails. I do have 2 different things on. First is Nail Aid Biotin Ultimate Strength, trying to not have my nails like break, even though they're super short right now. I had to cut them down. And Stacy Sparkle Sauce Stuck on You. So those are all I have on my base right now. And let's get started. So my thought was that the Cool Beans would be peeking through the zipper nails. And so I was going to use, on the flip side, I wasn't going to use it as a tip. I was going to use it full on as like the full nails, and then cut out Cool Beans so that it was like layered on. So that is the plan. So let's go ahead and just get on the flip side on our nails right now and talk about what's been going on. So what was the last video? I did like a harvest. It was like a harvest feel, and we were prepping for Thanksgiving. I feel like we had Thanksgiving at the office already that I spoke about. We did use leftovers from the Thanksgiving leftovers to create Thanksgiving leftover sandwiches. I had baked fresh bread, white bread, and sourdough bread and brought it to work, and we did those sandwiches for those that were in the office on that Friday. And over the weekend, it's such a blur. I'm still trying to remember what happened last weekend. My brain is like, it's so hard sometimes to like remember things that's not from yesterday and today. I don't know what it is. I think it's because there's just so much going on that my brain just pushes out like anything that has occurred and move on to the next kind of thing. So pardon me if I'm trying to like recall the things that have occurred. But I could start with yesterday because I can remember yesterday. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. So originally I was going to do all of the Thanksgiving preparations for Thanksgiving after work at the office. But Panda asked if I wanted to be picked up earlier because I guess his lessons with our nieces would be done earlier on Wednesday. And so I said, sure, like, who wouldn't want to go home early? So, packed up all my stuff, went home and finished my work shift at home. And instead of having to prep for Thanksgiving, I knew that I had all of Thanksgiving Day before dinner time to prep for what I needed to cook for, which included the cranberry sauce. It included homemade whipped cream. I had to bake more sourdough bread and white bread for the stuffing, because I like to make my stuffing completely from scratch. So I had to make sure the night before I had to prep the sourdough, because it takes about 10 to 12 hours for the bread to rise. So the easiest thing to do is to do it overnight, because you're already asleep, so you don't have to worry about it. So that is what I did on Wednesday. But other than that, didn't do very much other prep work for Thanksgiving. Panda Bear and I got to sing some karaoke on the Magic Sing mic for a while before we went to bed, because I had to stay up and wait for the sourdough to... Well, I don't know if you guys who have been watching this channel know, like, my journey with making sourdough bread, but as far as actually having it, prepping it for baking, the first thing you got to do is make sure that you feed your sourdough starter and that it rises to the point where it's super bubbly and almost like double in its size in the jar that I keep it in. And then once you do that, then you basically need to mix all the ingredients together. I like to make my sourdough bread without any fats or oils. So rather than use like butter or vegetable oil, which I just don't like vegetable oil, or canola oil, I try to stay clear of that oil, those types of oils. And so I replace that with applesauce. So I use applesauce as the ingredient to help kind of bind things. So yeah, anyways, so prep the ingredients. You have to let it sit for about half an hour, and then you have to knead the dough for another 8 to 10 minutes. And then you're allowed to let it sit and rest for the remainder of the 10 to 12 hours that it needs to rise. And so in between all of that, Panda Bear and I were using the Magic Sing mic and singing our hearts out to songs that we wanted to sing to. So that was Wednesday after work. Thursday, woke up super early. I think it was like 4 in the morning, to make sure that the sourdough bread was like in a good spot. Wasn't quite there yet. Wasn't fully like ready to be baked. So I prepped the white bread. So with the white bread, it's active yeast that I use. You have to let it bloom in warm water for about 10 minutes. So you want to make sure that the yeast is active and it's still working. So if you don't see any bubbles within 10 minutes, you know your yeast is dead. So luckily my yeast is still good, and prep the white bread. The white bread takes way less time for it to rise, about an hour and a half. So while we were waiting for that, Panda Bear and Pops and I took a little walk. But because I had to get to baking the bread in I think it was like 30 minutes. I had 30 minutes. Originally, we were going to have my mom take care of throwing the bread in the oven, but then when we went to the grocery store on our walk, couldn't find sage. And sage was one of the fresh herbs that I needed for my stuffing. So Panda Bear decided, okay, we're cutting the walk short. He's going to go hunting for the sage, and we would do our walk, take 2 on the walk today. So after doing my nails, that is the plan, to go on a nice walk. But while I was working on baking the bread, and Panda Bear was hunting for the sage, he actually had to go to 3 different stores. And I think it's because it's an ingredient that is, I don't think in our local area, folks use it very much for their Thanksgiving dishes. We needed to go to a more white area. I'll just say it. Like, our area is mostly like Hispanic, and Japanese, Chinese. So for Thanksgiving, I'm thinking that most people don't use those ingredients, the sage. There was plenty of thyme and rosemary, but sage was not one that our local grocery store had in stock. So, Panda Bear went to 3 different stores and finally found the sage, which he is a hero because the stuffing is like, you just gotta have all those fresh herbs. Like, there's no way to make that stuffing as tasty as it is without those fresh herbs. And so, while Panda Bear was hunting for the sage, I had made the homemade whipped cream. I had made the cranberry sauce, which I use my Instant Pot to make the cranberry sauce. And I use fresh orange juice squeezed from an orange, the orange zest from the orange, cranberries, a little bit of dark brown sugar and and regular sugar, maple syrup, and a jalapeno. Jalapeno is really important. It doesn't make the cranberry sauce spicy, but it does give it a kick, like a really distinct flavor. And I absolutely love it. I think my whole family loves it that way. And so it's like our thing. So, the homemade whipped cream, the secret ingredient, which none of the recipes online, at least the ones I've encountered, have it added, is almond extract. Just a hint of almond extract. Not too much. It's just like a splash of almond extract that gives it that extra, like, flavor, distinct flavor. And so when I make homemade whipped cream, it's basically just heavy cream, powdered sugar, vanilla, and then that splash of almond extract. So that's the secret. That's also the secret to my cakey brownies. There's a hint of almond extract in it, which most recipes don't call for it, and also a bit of espresso powder added to the brownies, just again for that extra hint of flavor there. But yeah, cranberry sauce, homemade whipped cream, gravy. So gravy, I like using the Better Than Bouillon chicken to make the broth that's needed for the gravy. But the gravy also has butter, it has diced onions, it has flour, splash of milk. Everyone loves the gravy on mashed potatoes. What did we eat it over yesterday? My sister-in-law, Mama Carla, had made a turkey meatloaf, and the gravy and the cranberry sauce combined with her amazingly moist and delicious turkey meatloaf was definitely the star of the meal yesterday. But the stuffing, let's go back to the stuffing. So instead of having a baguette that was purchased, so there's been some years where I'll have Panda Bear go to Mr. Baguette, which they make the best baguettes in our neighborhood, at least from what we're aware of. But this year, I was like, you know what? Let's really like save on ingredients and let me just make the bread myself. And so that's where the white bread and sourdough bread came in. Made it all myself, cubed it, toasted it. I had diced up the celery and the onion and all of the herbs. So it included parsley, thyme, rosemary, which rosemary was from our own like grown rosemary bush here at home. And then of course the sage that Panda Bear found. And all of those herbs were nice and chopped fine and mixed together. The celery and the onions and the garlic were all mixed together. And more broth made with the better than bouillon. And 2 eggs were included as well. And so didn't combine all those ingredients to bake until after we had lunch with my brother's family. So my brother's family came up for Thanksgiving because he was invited by our cousin Andrew to their house for Thanksgiving. So before he and his family did that, we all had lunch together at Mr. Dragon Noodle House. And my poor niece, Emmeline, I feel like every time I see her, she's like under the weather. And so she was like not feeling her best. But still enjoyed eating some of the dishes that we had ordered. So we had so many different orders. Like my mom, every time when we go out to eat with family, she likes to over order. It's just her thing. We're so used to it by now, but she'll over order. And I record these videos live and don't do any edits, and so sometimes you will hear we still have a landline at home. So every so often, and we know most of the time the landline, when it's ringing, it's a telemarketer or a scam call. So don't mind the background ringing of the phone. But yeah, ordered a bunch of food, and we're trying not to overeat because, you know, we all had Thanksgiving dinners to attend, except for the Rents. The Rents don't really celebrate Thanksgiving, so they'll sometimes get leftovers. We'll bring from Mama Carla's leftover food for them to try. Last night, we didn't end up bringing, like, actual, like, food, like none of the savory dishes back, but Panda Bear did pack some of the desserts that Mama Carla had made. She had made a pecan crumble pie, I think was one of the dishes, and then there was a pumpkin cheesecake, like a pumpkin layered cheesecake. She made some kind of pumpkin tiramisu, which Panda said that it wasn't his favorite out of all the desserts, so he didn't pack any to bring to the Rents. And then there was also a bundt cake that was a pumpkin chocolate chip bundt cake. So all of those were packed home for the Rents to try. And I was just way too sleepy by the time we did Thanksgiving dinner. The food was just on point. Mama Carla had made the turkey meatloaf, as I mentioned. She also made a sweet corn souffle. She made macaroni and cheese. She made mashed potatoes, picadillo, which is like a traditional dish that her family, I was introduced to it by their dad, actually, when he was alive. May he rest in peace. He made it really amazing, and Mama Carla also, she does her own twist on it, which tastes divine. It's very cumin forward and just tasty. And then she also made a green bean casserole all from scratch. So with fresh green beans, she fried her own like crispy onions to top it. She included, I think, mushrooms. She made her own, I think, cream of mushroom. Because, if you make green bean casserole, it's usually made with the cream of mushroom. But I think she had made everything from scratch because she used like fresh mushrooms. She also included a bacon in her green bean casserole, so very decadent. The crispy onions were very crispy and delicious. So yeah, it was a really amazing dinner. I was trying really hard, so when I went to my annual physical earlier this year, the doctor was like, "You've gained weight." Yeah, I've gained weight. I have not been watching my weight, and with the busy schedule, it hasn't been easy to fit in a regular routine for exercise. And I stopped going to Get Fit Factory because we started getting really busy with homeschooling, and the schedule was just not conducive for me to continue taking those dance classes. And so the only workouts I've really been getting in is lifting weights in the office, and here and there we'll do walks when time permits. But needless to say, I haven't been watching what I've been eating. The weight has gone up, and I can feel it. I can totally feel it. So when I went to my physical, my doctor was like, "You've gained weight." I was like, "I know." She tried to put me on Ozempic, which I'm like, "No, I don't need no pill to help with anything. I am going to, do it on my own, do it naturally with the right diet and exercise and all of that, because I don't want to rely on a pill for anything." Whereas my dad is always looking for the magic pill for something, which it doesn't exist. There's no magic pill. Every pharmaceutical has their own set of side effects that you'd have to deal with. And I really don't want to deal with that. I'd rather deal with my natural existing symptoms. So needless to say, I need to begin watching my weight. And of course, this chat about wanting to watch what I eat and all of that, try to avoid drinking any alcohol moving forward, and just trying to keep putting whole foods in the body as much as possible is the goal. So for Thanksgiving, when we went to eat at Mr. Dragon Noodle House, I don't know what kind of oils they're cooking their food in. Their food is delicious, mind you, very tasty, but I don't know what kind of oils they're cooking their food in. So I ate everything in moderation there. And at Mama Carla's, I made sure my plate had a little bit of everything, but also I was not going to go overboard. And I ate my plate of food. It was absolutely delicious. And I also got really sleepy. Being up since 4 a.m. will do that for you. Because by the time we finished eating dinner, it was like 9:30. So I just was not I didn't have any more energy to even stay up for dessert. Okay, so this is on the flip side, just by itself. So to me, it feels like faded jeans, and I wanted to add cool beans as a pop with the zipper decals. So what I'm going to have to do with this is cut them to fit what I need them for. So the zippers I am going to place strategically. So not all of the nails are going to have cool beans, because there's these zippers right here where it's fully closed that are going to be on, let's see, probably we'll put it on, let's put it on the pointer finger. So we're not going to add an extra layer on the pointer finger. We're just going to have the zipper decal. So let's put that there. Oh, but what was I saying? I didn't have any dessert. So, so this morning when I weighed in, I was actually only up 0.2 pounds, which I consider that success on a Thanksgiving holiday, because that means that I successfully wasn't able to prevent myself from gaining real weight, because that's literally just water weight, which I can easily sweat off on our walk after I finish my nails here. But yeah, I'm very proud of myself. Usually with Thanksgiving, like, I would go completely all out and sometimes eat like 2 plates, like go back for seconds, and then also eat dessert. And this year I successfully avoided doing that. And that means we have tons of leftovers. So we'll be eating that today after lessons with the girls, and probably the whole weekend we'll be eating leftovers. So I'm excited. I love Thanksgiving leftovers. I might actually bring bread with us so we can make Thanksgiving leftover sandwiches, which will be awesome. But yeah, let's get back to the nails here. So one of the things that I want to do is cover up some of the imperfections that occurred while I was doing my nails, because, you know, when you're busy talking and doing nails, sometimes things don't go correctly, and it's all right, because at the end of the day it's just nails. But we do want to strategically use these strips for that. I am also going to strategically put away some of the nails for doing a mani later on, because I like saving leftovers to use. Now, for those of you that are watching for the very first time, Color Street, it's basically just dry nail polish strips, and they're a one-time use application, but sometimes if you heat seal them, you're able to like use the leftovers at a later time, which is the goal for me. So that is why I'm putting some of them away, so that they could be used for later. But the rest of the ones that I'm keeping out are going to be cut up. So we're going to use these right here to cut them up and place them strategically on the nails. So I want to cover up this imperfection right there. So likely I'm going to use a very big open zipper, and we're going to place the nail cool beans down over that. So just gonna, let's see, hold on. I'm gonna do it this way. Nope, that's not what I want. I want to open up this way off to the side here. You know, that's not even going to help the distressed look on the nail there, but That's okay. Alright, so that is not going to help actually. Let's take it off. Take that off. It needs to be like this. Sorry. When I have to concentrate, it's sometimes hard to talk and do the nails at the same time. So just give me a minute while I adjust this zipper to cover up what I need. There we go. That's covering it up better. Okay. And then I need to cut out the shape right there for exposing. And actually we'll use a smaller one. For exposing that area right there, we need to cut it out so that it fits. So let's see here. If I hold it like this, I'm gonna need a pen because I'm gonna want to draw out the shape. Actually, you know what? If I did a pen, it would not be good. So we're just gonna place it. Here we go. Let's just do this. Stop overthinking and just do it, right? Alright, so we're gonna place that over like that, and then make sure that we cut off enough of the nail so that it's not taking over the whole nail there. All right. Peel it back, and let's trim it off just a bit because we want the zipper showing. Like that. Just like that. This is not as easy as I thought it would be to get it lined up. I probably should have placed cool beans down first and then the zipper, but then that would make it very hard for me to place it right. We'll try that on another nail and see if that works better. But this is looking like what I thought it would do, which is basically a pop of cool beans where the zipper is showing. The gold zipper is also a little bit hard to see on top of the blue, so that I didn't anticipate. I thought that it would show up more, but it is what it is, and we are making it work. So with the zipper, all right, there we go. It'll probably look a little better once a top coat gets put on it, but for now, that's the distressed look I'm looking for with the zipper. And let's continue on. So we want to kind of match it on this side. So that means the zipper needs to face this way like that. And it's not going to be fully matchy, but it will be as close as we can get it. So we've got this laid down. I want to cover that imperfection right there. Stretch it out just a little bit. And then we're going to place cool beans down on this side. Looks like we're going to need to cut out like a triangle. So let's see if we can do that. Let's try that and see if that works better. Cut it out before placing it down. Well, while you guys are watching, if you're watching, did you have a nice Thanksgiving? What were your favorite dishes from Thanksgiving? Comment below what you usually enjoy eating. I do want to make a green bean casserole and sweet potato pie for the rents, which is still on the agenda for this week. I just have to figure out timing wise, because I like to make my pie crust from scratch, and the pie crusts need at least 4 hours to chill in the fridge before working with them. So gotta figure out the best timing for all of that. But look at the polka dots. Spotty business, right? All right, let's keep going. We've got a few more nails to add the zipper effect. And let's see how we want to do this. I'm thinking we'll want to use all the open zippers somehow. And it might not all match, but if we do it like this, we can use cool beans for a tip to cover all of this right here. We still have this that we can use. There we go, like that. For those who are watching and are part of Stacy Adams' Facebook group, Stacy's Sassy Crew, which of you are part of the Nailmas like Advent where you guys were paired up with a fellow VIP member and mailed out a box of 12 different Color Street nails, minimum 12 different Color Street nails, to your partner. I am super excited to start opening things up starting December 1st, because I was paired up with Corey, and Corey sent me a humongous box. I jokingly told her, "What'd you do? Send me your everything in the kitchen sink?" Because it was like a hefty box. And it's funny because last year Shannon was my pal, and she also sent a bunch of stuff, and I felt really like bad because I didn't send as much as she had sent me. And I was like, okay, this year I'm gonna send way more stuff, thinking that I was like, doing really good. And then now Corey sent me a humongous box, and so now I'm like, oh my gosh, like I get that we all can do like what we want to do and send what we want to send, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of stuff. I'm excited to see what it is, but I'm also like, oh, like I've been topped again, like like every year my partner's like done more above and beyond what I've done for them, and I'm just like, so next year I'm gonna have to go even crazier on whatever I send to my partner, whoever I'm partnered with. So I'm just like, I gotta keep upping my game, and it's all thanks to my partners, my lovely partners that have partnered up with me. Okay, I noticed that I really missed this edge right here, so I'm gonna try to fix that really quick here with another strip, because that is gonna bother me. Like, not having perfect nails doesn't bother me, but having exposed nail when it's not like intentional, like a French mani or whatever, really bothers me a lot. So, and I don't mind wasting strips. It's not really wasting because it's literally being used. So let's fix that right now. Usually when you add a top coat, it ends up like fixing the issue. So there shouldn't be a problem there, but we'll see. We shall see. And obviously I won't do the top coat on camera because that takes time to dry. I'm not going to waste everyone's time watching nails dry. But I will post a picture on Nailfy of the end result once everything has been laid down. Alright, there's that right there. I feel like there's not enough of the cool beans. I really wanted cool beans to be like the star here, but a lot of these zippers aren't really showing too much. And I gotta fix that somehow. This zipper looks like it's like fully exposed. So what I might be able to do with that is to allow for a lot more of cool beans to show up. Like the whole side of cool beans to show up there, which is what I'm gonna do right now on the pinky. Let's get it down. I want more of the pink, actually. This pink edge here. Alright, so I'm gonna lay you down right here like that, and then peel you off where the zipper stops. There we go. Now we just gotta chop it all off. So now that Thanksgiving is over, now I can finally give my attention over to Christmas and play Christmas music and think about when we're gonna decorate Mama Carla's house with the lights and the tree, and focus on all of the holiday baking. That's the one thing that I am really looking forward to, is teaching the girls how to bake. Originally, we were going to do a lesson on baking today, but with all the desserts that Mama Carla made for Thanksgiving, we're postponing. We are postponing that lesson, that baking lesson, for later. Alright, that didn't turn out the way I thought it would, but it's okay. I want the zipper to face... Oh my gosh, that's why I totally put it on the wrong edge. Oh no, please let it be able to come off. This is what happens when you're talking in a video trying to get things done a certain way. That one's all messed up. It's gonna look like distressed jeans for sure. Oh well, that's fine. Alright, you know what? Let's try to get the other edge. Let's get it down right. It's supposed to be over here. But yes, the holiday season is upon us, so you're going to start seeing more holiday nails being done. Because I love the holiday season for that specific reason. So, alright, let's put this down right here. Like that. And then we want to cut off oh boy, it is stuck. There we go. There we go. That did it. And again, this edge right here is like exposed, so I'm gonna need to fix that. And if needed, I do actually have a smaller package of leftovers that I can also use on the flip side, because both of these sets actually I've already used before, so they weren't surprises to me. I was very happy that Stacy Adams didn't send me that fugly ham set. It's like a rose quartz or something like that, but it looks like ham. And I'm also glad she didn't send me the guacamole looking set with the avocados, because those to me are fugly. And I don't know how I would have been able to dress those up. I mean, with cool beans, I totally would have just worn cool beans on their own, because I do actually like cool beans design a lot, but wanted to do something funky with it, so that's why you're seeing this interesting look here. But I did mess up that pinky there just a little bit. I guess what I could do is I could fix it by layering more of on the flip side to fix it. We're doing this. We are gonna use up all the strips. Oh, look, that one already is like trying to peel off right there. Okay, let's fix this right here really quick. And I don't know why my Samsung watch thinks it needs to listen to me. It said listening, but technology has been really weird, like, lately. Like, when Panda Bear and I were driving the kiddos to go see Zootopia, his GPS, when we were trying to go to Puente Hills, was like telling us, even though we were like less than 2 miles away from our destination, it told us it was 43 minutes away, which was crazy. But Yeah, technology's been weird. Oh, and that just sparked a memory for me. So yay, that sparked a memory. So the weekend, what we did was, Saturday, we took the girls to go see Wicked for Good. So I had my nails done using ILNP. Let's see, hold on, sorry. Let me just get my thoughts together here. I used ILNP, Gummy Bear, and Jelly Bean, and that's basically pink and green. And I did a Wicked themed mani so that I could enjoy having that at the movies with the girls. And we're gonna try to lay this zipper down so that I can use Cool Beans to cover up that imperfection right there too. But yeah, sorry, I need one more strip here. I think I'll use this one. We ended up really liking Wicked for Good a lot. I know that Panda didn't see the first Wicked, so he didn't have anything to compare it to, but the girls and I all thought that the second movie was even better than the first one. There was a lot of substance in the second movie that I enjoyed very much. So yeah. That was Saturday, and then Sunday, the girls have been learning in homeschool about the middle colonies, the New England colonies, and the southern colonies. And the middle colonies was the first of the three that Mama Carla did a themed Sunday brunch for. And so she made this amazing venison stew. It was very delicious. The venison was ground venison, so she made meatballs. They were just so yum. And then she made a shoe fly pie, which was very molasses heavy. And that's what was, popular back then. And it tasted good with like ice cream. By itself, it was just a little too rich for my taste. But with the vanilla ice cream, it was good. And we watched Zootopia 2 as well. And Zootopia 2 was a fun watch as well. So if anyone's wondering, I would recommend both of those movies, especially if you have kids, because they're a lot of fun. Alright, so this one, I really want to give Cool Beans its moment, but if I do the whole thing, I'm going to do the whole thing, because they're my nails, and I could do what I want. I want to use Cool Beans over on the flip side here, so let's just do it. But Zootopia was really fun. If you are going to go watch Zootopia 2, supposedly there's something in the end credits, so if you have the chance to stay and watch that, do it. It hints at a third Zootopia movie, supposedly, allegedly, from what I've read online. We didn't get to stay and see it because everybody had to go use the restrooms. And if you're going to the theaters, like while Wicked for Good is in theaters, there's some fun, like Fanta, soda. They have some fun mixes that are Wicked themed. By far, our favorite one is Rainbow Sparkle, which I guess has orange, peach, strawberry, and cherry Fanta all mixed together. It's so yum. So just a heads up, if you do buy concessions at the theater, that's a fun drink. Typically, Panda Bear and I will get ices when we go to the movies, but Lilith had gotten the Rainbow Sparkle and we really liked the flavor of it, so this time around we didn't get ices and we got sodas so that we can have the Rainbow Sparkle. So yeah. And then Allison tried some other ones. They have some other Wicked themed flavors, and Allison tried a different mix, which wasn't bad, but not as good as the Rainbow Sparkle, in my opinion. Of course, everybody's got different tastes, but yeah. All right, so this is the final look. It looks very distressed, very 90s-esque. Oh, I need to fix this edge right here. So, if you watched all the way through, what a struggle, huh? My brain has literally like been fried. Like, just trying to juggle work and juggle all the personal stuff has left my brain like pretty much fried. I sometimes feel like a zombie in my waking day. Mind you, I am very productive and I get a lot done, but I feel like when someone wants to have a conversation with me and it's not like I'm on autopilot, like when I'm at work, I'm literally on autopilot. Like, I have learned about the products and all of that for so long, 20 years, that I can answer questions most of the time. Like, I feel like I can answer them in my sleep. So I'm literally on autopilot. But when you're having a conversation with me about things that are like in the here and now, and it's not something I've had time to like process or think about, I'm like a deer in headlights and I just freeze. And so that happens often. And it's a big thing that causes some social anxiety in me. And so that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I just stick with hanging out with family lately, because I just don't want to interact with others. But yeah, it is what it is. There we are. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup work offline and of course add a top coat and take a nail fee. So if you are a part of my Facebook group, you'll see the nail fee. Otherwise, if you watched this all the way through, thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. I do have to color in this number 9, this little bun here, this little bunny, and I don't have my normal color pencils because actually I left those at work. So what we're going to use to color in this little wabbit here is we are going to use these remarkable erasable colors and color this in really quick. And I feel like the bunny's spots, we're just going to go real easy. We're just going to use black. And we're just going to color in just the areas that need shading. Alright, colored in right there. And it's supposed to be erasable, but I don't really know how that actually works. I'm trying to get it to look a little bit distressed, just like my nails. That actually worked pretty well. Okay, and there we go. That is Spotty Business or a random pattern using the trick or treat sets on the flip side and cool beans that were gifted to me by Stacy Adams. If you watched all the way through, go ahead. Let's have you put a bunny rabbit emoji, since it is going to be the Spotty Business or random pattern bunny. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Peace.